Hey, friends. So I often recommend to clients and friends that they reach out to crisis hotlines if they are in a place where their distress is so high and they need extra support, but they don't feel that they can reach out to a friend or family member, or maybe they don't have a therapist who's available 24/7. Um, and I've always used our local crisis line, which is attached with a behavioral health services organization here locally. And I really like them. I'm familiar with them, but not everybody has something like that. And we do have in the United States a national crisis line, and it's 988, and it's specific for mental health stuff, and it's different from 911. And so I wanted to uh, give it a call and see what we can find out, have them answer some questions. And I wanted to share that with you all. So I'm going to go ahead and give them a call, and we can hear what it's like to call, what we can expect from those calls, and all of those kinds of things. And then it's also available, I believe, in a text message form. So we'll find out about that too. Okay.
88 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. Para español, marque el número dos. If you are a veteran or service member or are calling about one, press 1. Otherwise, to talk with a counselor, stay on the line or press 0. To improve 988, your call may be monitored and recorded. We are checking for a counselor who is available to talk. You'll hear music while we do this, and we'll give you an update in 30 seconds. You are not alone. We care and want to support you. Someone will be with you soon.
That's a nice waiting message.
American.
Hello? Oh, and the call ended. So there you go. So that's an experience you might have. You might try calling and then they might get disconnected. So that's good to know as a starting point that that might happen. And when we're in a really big distress moment, that might feel really awful and intense, and it might feel hard to call back. And that makes sense. Okay, let's try it again.
The 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. Para español, marque el número dos. If you are a veteran or service member or are calling about one, press 1. Otherwise, to talk with a counselor, stay on the line or press 0. To improve 988, your call may be monitored and recorded. We are checking for a counselor who is available to talk. You'll hear music while we do this, and we'll give you an update in 30 seconds. You are not alone. We care and want to support you. Someone will be with you soon. We are continuing to check with counselors for someone who is available to talk. You'll continue to hear music, and we'll give you another update in 30 seconds. If you are in the process of a suicide attempt, please call 911. Otherwise, please stay on the line. We want to help, and we'll have someone available as soon as possible.
So that's a good differentiation if you're in the middle of a suicide attempt, that you would call 911 over 988. And that makes sense to me because then it becomes a medical support, as well as a mental health support that you're in need of. And I would imagine that 988 doesn't have the physical medical resources.
We know your call is urgent, and thank you for your patience. If you prefer, you can text 988 to reach a counselor, or please stay on the line to be connected.
So you can text as well, and you'll reach the same kind of counselors, it sounds like. Hello?
Samaritan, may I help you?
Yes, hi. I'm calling. I'm a therapist, and I am wanting to ask a few questions so that I can give your information to my clients. Um,
Okay.
I was wondering, do people have to give their name and location when they call?
Nope.
Okay. And under what circumstances do you all contact local emergency services?
When it is imminent risk, and that would include that they have stated yes to the risk assessment questions, which are, have you been feeling suicidal within the last few days, including today?
Hmm.
And have you taken any action to harm yourself
Okay.
today? And do you have a plan on how you were to take your life if you were to do so? Now, we also go through a safety plan
Hmm.
first,
Hmm.
right? We create a safety plan with them first. And then if they are still not like lower on the risk assessment, then we would discuss contacting
Okay.
like local emergency services for them.
Okay, great. So you'll go through several steps before you get to that point, and you'll discuss it with them before you send somebody out.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay, awesome. And is this line something that people can only call if they're feeling suicidal, or can they also call if they're having any
No.
other kind of mental health?
Yep.
Okay, fantastic. So emotional overwhelm, substance use, self-harm, grief, panic attacks, all those is okay for someone to reach out.
Yep.
Okay, awesome.
Lonely.
Okay, awesome. Awesome. So sort of the full spectrum.
Yep.
And what level of training do you all have, the folks who are answering the lines?
Well, I'll say I'm in school to be a therapist.
Okay, awesome.
um, yeah, I'm in my senior year, but so we do like a month of
Okay.
training, right?
Uh-huh.
And we also have to keep up with Vibrant,
Hmm.
their required trainings.
Awesome.
So a lot of imminent risk and trauma and grief training, crisis intervention,
Okay.
um, trauma informed care, things like that.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, fantastic. And how long would you say a typical call lasts?
If it's a regular no risk call, it can last up to 30 minutes,
Hmm.
and then we try to probably start a wrap up
Hmm.
around 30 minutes.
Hmm.
If it's imminent risk or moderate risk, there's no time limit.
Okay. Okay, amazing. And do you all offer translation?
Yep.
Okay, is there a specific set of language or just sort of a whole bunch of them?
No, it's supposed to be like not, all that they can think of, I guess.
Okay, okay, awesome. Okay, awesome. Um, and I noticed at the beginning of the call there was a specific line for like veterans or military. Is there a separate group who works with like LGBTQIA folks or any other special ones that you would send people towards, or is it okay for just everybody?
It's okay for everybody. I do know that I worked on the NYC
Hmm.
988 line, and I believe they have a specific LGBTQ community resource that they transfer people to. I
Okay, nice.
haven't heard of. I don't know of one here that we
Okay.
do. Um, but I know the NYC 988 does. And
Okay.
that number was, hold on. um, shoot, hang on, hang on.
That's
Trying to make
okay.
my brain work. Yeah, 1888 NYC Well.
NYCWELL.
Well, yep.
Cool. Cool. Okay. Amazing. All right. Well, thank you for your generous time and for your work. I'm so grateful.
Yes. Listen, I have to check in with you and ask because
Yes.
it's required.
Yes.
Have you been feeling suicidal within the past few days, including today?
I have not.
Okay. And have you taken any action to harm yourself today?
No.
Great. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much for all you do. I hope you have a really sweet rest of your day.
You as well. Take
Okay.
care.
You too. Bye.
Bye.
Okay. What a great person. And I really loved how they added when I was walking through, like, what are some reasons that people could call other than feeling suicidal, that they offered that it could just be lonely. So please know that if you're out there, um, makes me a little emotional. You are not alone. That even if there's someone who's not answering the phone, even if the crisis line doesn't come through or you can't get through for some reason, there are so many people who are experiencing what you're experiencing that we have national lines with folks there and ready. Sending you so much love and hope that this gave some information to anyone who has thought about calling 988 and wondered what might happen, what would the experience be like. Um, I am a big fan of crisis lines. I have utilized them throughout my adult life regularly. I don't think we ever outgrow the need for a crisis line because when distress gets really high, especially for those of us with highly sensitive or neurodivergent systems, access to that frontal lobe is taken offline, and it can be incredibly helpful to have another person to co regulate with and to ask those important questions about understanding where we're at, and to give some ideas and resources for how we might. Get the help that we deserve in those moments. So I'm a big fan of 988 now, and of any kind of a crisis line. You're not going to get the level of care that you would in, say, a one-on-one therapy session, but it can tide us over and help us make decisions about how we can get that higher level of care, which can make a significant decision, difference when we're in really high levels of distress. Time is what we need most when we're in distress because we know that the nervous system takes time to come back down to a regulated state. And that time differs according to the level of distress. But as you heard, 30 minutes is sort of what's available as a starting point with 988. And that's I'm happy to hear that. That's research based and supported, I can tell, because most nervous system events will take about 20 minutes. So if we can have support for that 20 minutes of distress, we buy ourselves the time we need to come back to a more regulated state where we can start having access to that frontal lobe. So I love you so much. If you are feeling distressed, if you are feeling lonely, if you are feeling confused and concerned that you might be experiencing some distress or crisis, you can reach out to 988 by chat or by phone in the United States. Outside of the United States, you probably have similar options. You can go ahead and get on your internet and check what might be available there. And I think there are some international ones that you can chat via like a web browser if you don't have a phone plan. So, sending you so much love. You are not alone, and there is support available. It's not going to be perfect support, but in these circumstances, something can be a lot better than nothing. Okay. Love you, love you.